My name is David Sternback from Rochester, Washington. In 2019, the legislature passed the Washington State Ferries 2040 Long-Range Plan. Parts of this plan were delayed by Governor Ferguson. What is the long-term financial sustainability of hybrid electric ferries?
Good question. So our ferry system is in a state of crisis. We have an aging fleet of boats that need to be replaced. We need to maintain the ones that we have. We have 21 boats in service at any given time, and we have to make sure we maintain those. Several years back, when I started in my role as a ranking member on transportation, we came up with a plan. The plan was that we were going to build 5 new boats. It started out with 1, and then we added 4 more. We had a local shipbuilder that was all in line. We had a good way of thinking about this. We had the money through a different program called the Capital Ferries account, which a couple different fees fund into that. And we had a dollar amount set to do this. Unfortunately, then Governor Inslee decided to make a different change. He decided it was time to put the climate in play on this and wanted to go with an electrification program. Both building brand new hybrid electric boats, which are very new technology, and this is back 2019, now we're at 2025, and also to convert existing boats that we have from their diesel electric motors that we're burning clean diesel right now, that actually the diesel motor is making electricity that turns the prop. It's kind of interesting, you should look it up. So this program was put into place. Unfortunately, it ran into all sorts of problems. One, it ran into problems with the boat builder actually being able to deliver or build those boats because of that new technology. 2, it became ever apparent that it was going to cost more and more money that the state just does not have to do that. So it's been delayed for many years. One of the things that Governor Ferguson has put into place, which I support and have been advocating, is to pause the conversion of our current fleet to electrification or electric hybrid boats. We need to make sure the boats we have are maintained. We need to make sure that their power systems are functional and that we're using. And there's different ways that we can do that. We have found out that we can look at brand new, what they call Tier 4 clean diesel engines. These engines are producing the most minimal amount of carbon. They're actually reduced almost to the point of electrification. It's pretty amazing. And they're a fraction of the cost to do that. While time-wise, they're a fraction of the time to keep the boats going. So I support what he's doing as we're looking at this in the future. I'm not saying that we shouldn't look to the future of electrification and moving down the road to do that, but right now with the critical state of our ferry system, we can't afford to take these boats out of service for a long period of time. We're also waiting for the procurement, which is the big bid that's coming in that should be here sometime in May, and we'll find out which shipbuilder is going to build the next ferry boats, which will be electric hybrid ferries, and what that cost is going to be. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but my prediction is it's going to be very expensive. And at the end, to build these new electric boats, we're only going to get a couple, where if we would have stayed with the course with the plan that we had back in 2018, 2019, we'd probably have 4 or 5 boats in the water right now.
Great question, and one that the state of Washington has no experience at. We've made that decision some time ago. In fact, I worked on a bill a couple years ago that set up the process by which we would get bids from shipbuilders from across the country for these ferry vessels. It's been done in other countries. There's not a lot of experience with that in the state of Washington, and we are in an extremely difficult environment from a cost standpoint. A lot of our investments in transportation have come in all the way up to 70% more than what we expected. But on the other hand, I'm fully committed to moving forward with this because there is a benefit to this, the investment in hybrid electric ferries. The first benefit is that from a public health standpoint, and the fuels that are used cause a great deal of pollution that is very, because it's diesel or even more extreme fuel types to fuel the ferries, is a very big public health problem. The benefit of going to electricity for these vessels really there's some cost savings because the price of electricity is much less than it is for diesel. And so we can reduce our operating costs while providing that benefit from a public health standpoint. But it's new to us. And when something's new, I think it's always important to be cautious about how we go forward and do things. And, I have a fiscal responsibility because ferries is not just the only investment that we need to make to preserve and grow our transportation system. And so we're going to look hard at those bids. Hopefully we can be able to fund all 5 of those bids, vessels that we plan to get bids on in early May. It's very important, but it's not an easy task. And I know the State Department of Transportation is working very hard to come up with ways in which we can be cost effective in the purchase of these ferries. But one of the challenges is you can sometimes get too caught up in present costs and not look at what the future is in terms of the long-standing costs to operate a vessel. This one is hybrid electric vessels are a great investment for the future of the ferry system and for the cost to operate the system. Thank you for that great question.